First, I want to tell you what this event is, for those who haven't been here. So this is our can you hear me in the back? This is our 22nd annual reading of the document that marked the birth of our nation, the Declaration of Independence. For many years in many communities in America, it was customary on the 4th of July to gather for a public reading of the Declaration, but that tradition stopped sometime before living memory here in Freehold. The suggestion to revive it came from our friend, the late Sam Sagotsky, who believed, as I think all of us here have also come to believe, that it's important to hear these words spoken aloud on this day. Our leader, and particularly on this day, the 250th birthday of our nation. Our leader, Nolan, our leader for the reading is Nolan Higgins, our Mayor Emeritus, the Fire Chief Emeritus too, who today is taking the role of our town's most prominent citizen of the Revolutionary War. His name is Dr. Nathaniel Scudder, so you have to call Nolan Nathaniel today, or if you really want to be formal, you should just call him Dr. Scudder. The only member of the Continental Congress to die in combat during the American Revolution. Dr. Scudder was born here in Monmouth Courthouse, as Freehold was then known, educated at Princeton, and lived right next door here, right where Rita's is. He was among the earliest and most ardent leaders of the Patriot cause, giving up his medical practice to fight for independence from Great Britain. Serving as a colonel in the New Jersey militia, a delegate to the newly formed New Jersey legislature, and a member of the Continental Congress, where he was a signer of the Articles of Confederation. He lived right here. And on the night of July 2nd, 1776, he was at the Highlands overlooking Sandy Hook when 100 British ships arrived. This was the invasion force. And he got on his horse and he rode through the night to Burlington, New Jersey, which is where the Provincial Congress was meeting, and burst in and said, "The British are here." And on that day, New Jersey declared independence. It was also the day that in Philadelphia, the Continental Congress declared independence. But then Dr. Scudder wasn't finished, because on October 17th, 1781, word reached Dr. Scudder here at Rita's that loyalist raiders from Sandy Hook had taken 6 prisoners from Colts Neck, and he set off with a group of men after them. They met at Black's Point on the Shrewsbury River in what's now Rumson. He was shot and killed in a skirmish there. 3 days later, the British surrendered at Yorktown. He's buried at Old Tennet. You can go visit him if you want sometime, right by the church. So this is how it works. A dispatch rider will arrive from Philadelphia to deliver the document to Dr. Scudder, who will then start the reading. The other readers will then proceed to the microphone to read their lines, and then step down. We will all read the final stirring paragraph together, led by Dr. Scudder. So now I'm going to ask you, if you have a part, line up. So 1 through 20. 1 through 20. 1 through 20. What? You have it, right? Yeah. 1 through 20. 21 through 40. If you're not reading and you want to follow along, there's a box of declarations right up here. So please just come get one. Where was I? 40? 41 through 60. '61 through 80. And then 80 through the end. The last one is something like 111. All right? And And as you're in line, please, please, please make sure the person in front of you and the person in back of you is in the correct place. Because if we don't do this right, who knows what will happen. This is our 22nd year and we still have not had rain. We have this awful heat, but we have not had rain. We have with us today a descendant of one of the signers, Joseph Hughes of North Carolina. He will be reading the North Carolina names. And we have also three visitors from Ireland, from Rathangan, Ireland, which is the ancestral village of Bruce Springsteen in Ireland, Bruce Springsteen's family. And they share our antipathy for the British. They had their own troubles with them. It took them a little bit while longer than we did. So they're here to celebrate with us our freedom from the oppression of the British Empire. Right? Okay. All right. Everybody in line? I want to do a count off. Count off.
1, 2, 3.
Count off. Count off.
16.
Are we good? We're good. Okay. So, what's going to happen? Now, if you have a state, what's going to happen is you're going to say Georgia. And then, before you read the next name, you want to pause because we're going to ring the bell. And poor Bob Lithgow is up there in the heat, ringing this bell for us. Okay? So, a dispatch rider will arrive from Philadelphia on motorcycle, not by horse, to deliver the document to Dr. Scudder, who will start the reading. The other readers will proceed to the microphone to read their lines and then step down. Then, this is why you should have one if you don't have one now. We will all read the final stirring paragraph together, led by Dr. Scudder. Then the names of the signers will be read and the firehouse bell will toll for each of the 13 colonies which became states on this day 250 years ago. After the last of the 13, the bell will then, Bobby's going to be up there pealing the bell more rapidly, 37 more times, and Dr. Scudder will announce the name of each state in the order, right, Dr. Scudder? Yes, in the order in which it joined our nation. We will then raise the flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance together, and then Mr. James Armour, who has sung here before, and we're very grateful here again, will sing the national anthem, followed by God Bless America. So everybody can sing God Bless America. National anthem is a little harder. So if you want to join in, you're welcome to, but he's got a terrific voice. And I want to thank St. Peter's for having rung the bells to announce our reading today, because St. Peter's is one of only 3 structures in this town that was here on this day 250 years ago. Unfortunately, during the Battle of Monmouth, that's where the British used as a hospital. So they're repenting for their sins today by ringing the bell for our occasion. All right, and then when we're done, we can all go home and try to do what generations of Americans have tried to do ever since, to try to fulfill the promise of these words. So, where are you? Where are you? So watch Main Street. He's coming from Philadelphia. He's almost here, I think. You do have the stage. Color Guard, American Legion, Post 54.
Detail, attain, hey! Harry, help!
In Congress, July 4, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall be seen most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed will dictate that the governments long established should not be charged for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for the future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government.
The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good.
He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend them.
He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only.
He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures.
He has dissolved the representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people.
He has refused for a long time after such dissolution to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within.
He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land.
He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers.
He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries.
He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance.
He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures.
He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power.
He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation.
For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us.
For protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states.
For cutting off our trade with all the parts of the world.
For imposing taxes on us without our consent.
For depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury.
For transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses.
For abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging the boundaries so as it render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies.
For taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government.
For suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever.
He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us.
He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people.
He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation.
He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive of the high seas to bear arms against the country, to become their executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands.
He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms.
Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated energy.
A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people.
Nor have we been wanting in attention to our British brethren.
We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us.
We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here.
We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these separations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence.
They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity.
We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Georgia. Lyman Hall.
Button Gwinnett. George Walton.
North Carolina. William Hooper. Joseph Hughes. John Penn.
South Carolina. Edward Rutledge, Thomas Hayward Jr., Thomas Lynch Jr., Arthur Middleton.
Massachusetts.
John Hancock.
Samuel Adams, John Adams.
Robert Treat Payne.
Elbridge Gerry.
Maryland. Samuel Chase.
William Paca. Thomas Stone. Charles Carroll of Carrollton.
Virginia.
There you go.
George Wyeth.
Richard Henry Lee.
Thomas Jefferson.
Benjamin Harrison.
Thomas Nelson Jr.
Francis Lightfoot Lee.
Carter Braxton.
Pennsylvania.
Robert Morris. Benjamin Rush. Benjamin Franklin.
John Morton.
George Clymer.
James Smith. George Taylor. James Wilson. George Ross.
Delaware.
Caesar Rodney, George Reed, Thomas McCain.
New York. William Floyd.
Philip Livingston.
Francis Lewis. Lewis Morris.
New Jersey.
Richard Stockton.
John Witherspoon. Francis Hopkinson.
John Hart.
Abraham Clark.
New Hampshire. Josiah Bartlett.
William Whipple. Matthew Thornton.
Rhode Island. Stephen Hopkins, William Ellery.
Connecticut. Roger Sherman, Samuel Huntington.
William Williams, Oliver Wolcott.
Vermont. Kentucky. Tennessee. Ohio. Louisiana. Indiana. Mississippi. Illinois. Alabama. Maine. Missouri. Arkansas. Michigan. Florida. Texas. Iowa. Wisconsin. California. Minnesota. Oregon. Kansas. West Virginia. Nevada. Nebraska. Colorado. North Dakota. South Dakota. Montana. Washington. Idaho. Wyoming. Utah. Oklahoma. New Mexico. Arizona. Alaska. Hawaii.
Will the police officers, the chief here, raise the flag now that we're a nation? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Armour. Mr. James Armour.
How's everybody today? I just want to say a couple of things before I start this song. I'm a Jersey boy, but I live in Oklahoma now. I drove 1,500 miles to be here because this is how important it is for me to be here. So I want you guys to sing along with me because I'm a little tired. The road is a killer. But I want you to help me out. So when I go back to Oklahoma, I'm going to tell them, listen, there's no place like New Jersey. We rock. Let's go Knicks. Every time I'm in Oklahoma, I remind them. Somebody say, how you doing? I say, I'm from Jersey, before they even ask me. So I'm so proud to be a New Jerseyan, and I'm just proud to be here. So listen, we're going to add one little bit here which goes with the theme. But at first, we're going to do the national anthem. So I want you guys to sing along with me. Are we ready? Here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the peril, come on, I can't hear you, let's fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reckless, the bomb bursting in and gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Okay, help me out. Here we go. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. Help me out. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God, come on, help me out. America, home sweet home. Give yourself a round. Come on. God bless America. Thank you.
Color guard? What happened? Yep, something happened. Color guard. Stand down. Color guard dismissed.
Color guard dismissed. Fall out.
Well, it's hard to top that. So I didn't, at the beginning, I wanted to tell you that we did this for Sam Sagotsky, and Sam Sagotsky's son, grandsons, great-grandsons? No, maybe, I'm not sure. Can you come up so we can all see you? They were, oh, there they are. There they are. It was Ron's father's idea that we did this 22 years, and I hope we can continue doing this. I hope we continue doing this. I won't be here, but for another 250. So thank you all, and I want to thank our dispatch rider. I want to thank the police. I want to thank everybody. I'm going to forget somebody. I want to thank everybody who participated. I want to thank the borough guys who set this all up, our police for doing the flags, and all of you for coming out on this miserable, miserable hot day. And perhaps if you didn't, like me, don't have power at your house, thank you for coming. And so next year, 9 a.m., we'll be here, and we'll hope for that'll be the 23rd year without rain. Thank you all very much. God bless America.